about to get serious here!
There's no way you win against me now.
Alright everyone, JB here, and we're back with another Dragon Ball is real on channel today. Now today, we're going to be pretty much doing a equipment guide for my beginners. I guess you can call this a 2.0 of, because I did post this video pretty much earlier this year, but we do have some a couple things new to add on to that the guide essentially. So I'm gonna go over all of this for my beginners, returning players, or maybe you're just a player that you've been playing a game for a little bit and you just haven't gotten the gist of how the equipment system kind of works. So that is pretty much what I am here to help you guys with. Now, as always, if you're new around here, consider leaving a like on the video and join the channel because it's very much appreciated. So first things first, we're gonna go over everything, the know-how and everything that we know that's already in the game, and then we're gonna go over all the new stuff pretty much lastly. That way I can separate it, make it easier for you guys to kind of understand. Now we're gonna go over what resources do you need to upgrade your equipment and where to also get your equipment. There are different places you can get them from, events, shops. Now when it comes to resources, now whenever you're upgrading your equipment and everything, the highest stat that you can get up to is the red slot. That's the highest stat. Now we're going to talk about rerolling everything next, but when it comes to your resources, look at the bottom right here. That is Zenny. You need pretty much a lot of Zenny when it comes to upgrading equipment and re-rolling them and all that good stuff, because it's such, you're going to use Zenny for a lot of things in the game. And when it comes to just the equipment itself as well, you're going to need slot removers. Slot removers are a must because you can't re-upgrade your equipment without them. Now if you look right here, it says times 30 because that's how many it's able to go up to. Now when it comes to where you're getting your equipment, and then also like your Zenny, slot removers, we're going to talk about that next as well. So you have events over here, you go to upgrade. Now when it comes to Zenny, it is a bit more simple, but it takes a little bit of time. So if you're a newer player, I do suggest doing this. I suggest this for anybody. Now if you don't know this yet, now this event right here, essentially on the weekends when you're playing this event, I believe the Zenny is doubled, and then it is also dropping you gold bars. What do I mean by that? You want to grind on the weekend because it drops gold bars. You're getting double the Zenny as well, and those gold bars, when you go to the shop to trade them in for Zenny, you're getting more than what you will be using right here, because if you're doing this 50 times every time, that's 100 energy draining off. And if you're a newer player especially, I don't recommend doing this a lot, because energy is also a pretty important resource if you don't have a whole lot of it, so do keep it in mind. On the weekends, grind it as much as you can. Once you reach the max, go ahead and trade them out for Zenny and all that good stuff. Now when it comes to your equipment, there are a couple events right here, but I'm going to show you guys the better alternative to get the let's say like the regular equips like these, because the events, they don't have all of the better equipment. But when it comes to the applied equips, majority of the good ones are here in this event as well. But we're gonna hop to the shop really quick. When it comes to the equipment and let's say the Zenny, and let's look at the Zenny first. This is where you're gonna get your trade in your gold bars that I was talking about right here. Now once you reach 300 is the max. It's not gonna let you get any more. Everything else is just gonna go to your gift box. So do keep it in mind. But essentially speaking, you can keep on grinding it out as many times as you want, and even until you get the Zenny to a max. You still can save up on gold bars for, let's say, like the next week after that. But looking at the equipment, we also have this is what we call the equipment metal shop. Now for those who are going to ask where do you get the like the equipment metals, essentially speaking, they're kind of just randomized in the game. You get them from login bonuses, you get them as bonuses in events, you get them in like, let's say like co-op challenges. There's a lot of different challenges that they give it to you. Once you complete all the challenges for different events, you get equipment modes. and you pretty much just have to save up on them. But essentially, they're gonna all have all the the regular equipments in here as well for you guys, the PvP equipments as well. And these are better alternatives than trying to grind out the event, because the event just has like the basic equips, which aren't bad, for a newer player. But essentially, once you start saving up on those equipment medals and everything, you want to go to the shop and start trading out for those equipments. And then there's also another shop. If we go back right here, the co-op shop. So once you guys start grinding co-op, there is a shop for the platinum equips that are in here. Now I recommend just doing your limited time rewards every day. All you have to do is just play co-op one time, and they give you three tries worth of rewards. So that way you guys you can look at some of these equips, because these are pretty good equips. Some of these co-ops, you have to look at them and just see how good they are, but majority of them, I would say, are pretty good. Now when it comes to slot removers are a bit more tricky, I would say, because they're kind of scattered across the game. Now when I say more tricky, the two main events that I would say that you could probably grind them out, slot removers, is the raid, which did just go away, which kind of sucks. But I think they might add another one eventually, because we still have like at least one more premium character, maybe two, that they should be releasing. But essentially, you're able to get up to 999 slot removers. So the raid is my #1 option when it comes to grinding out those slot removers. And then the other event I would say is the Zenkai Space Time Rush, because you can use the gold medals to get them as well. It's 5 per medal. Now obviously you have to actually do the event that comes with it, but make sure you guys you're grinding that event, or when the raid comes around, make sure you're grinding that as well. Now we're going to talk about re-rolling equipment and re-upgrading them. Now when it comes to, let's say, let's start off with re-rolling. That is like the most simple thing to learn. Now essentially speaking, before we didn't have an option where we could upgrade the first slot, which we kind of do now, which I'm going to explain eventually. But before, we had to pretty much, let's just say you're a newer player, right? You want to go and re-roll the equipment. Let's say this equipment right here. Now how the re-rolling works, let's say we do it like 30 times. When you re-roll the equipment, you want to at least get either a gold slot in the first slot, or you want to get a red slot, because if you don't, your equipment will not go up to let's say like Z plus, or Z. It won't even reach those heights. Some of them will, but it depends on the equipment as well. So if you go over here, let's look at our equips. Now normally if it reaches, let's say like a gold or a red slot, like kind of like how you see some of these right here, it's gonna it's gonna show it right there, and most of them are gonna be C. You want to get the equipments that say C, not the ones that say D, and then they're just let's go down here. There's probably an example I might be able to show you guys. But some equips might roll as a gold slot, but it comes out as a D, like this one right here. But it's only because of the stats. The stats aren't high enough to go up to C, so you want to make sure it's a C rank. Make sure you guys are getting that gold or that red slot for it. Now essentially, once you do that, right, so really quick, let me just sell a little bit of my equips, because I said I didn't have any space. We're gonna do this really quick. It kind of sucks, because I normally don't pay attention to like how many equips I have in my storage. But let's go over to upgrade. Let's say you want to upgrade one of these equipments, right? Let's just go right here and upgrade this equip. Now you're upgrading it, simple stuff. And this is where we get into the point of re-upgrading it. Now re-rolling, like I explained, it's essentially you're just re-rolling the equip. It works the same when it comes, for doing it out of the metal shop. All you have to do is go right here and then just say like buy one of these equips. So let's say we get like 20 of these, and then it's going to show you, and this is the one that you want, the C rank. You have a gold slot. That's good. For some of those who want to go above and beyond, want to get the red slot, I don't always aim for the red slot, but unless it's a really good equip, then I will do that. But normally you want to aim for gold or red. And then once you got that, you go back over here, and then we can pretty much go over here so I can show you guys how to re-upgrade all this stuff. And this is kind of how where the new stuff comes into play for some of you. So let's go do this right here, and then let's select, let's say, let's grab this one. You know, this one already has a gold slot. Now when it comes to re-upgrading, now I'm going to explain this really quick. You always want to hit red, stop on red, because that is the highest stat that you can get it up to. Now unless you want to just go for the bare minimum and go for the orange or the gold slot, I would say go for it. You know, it is still upgraded to a good rarity once you get both of the bottom slots upgraded. But essentially, like I was talking about earlier, you're gonna need Zenny, and then you're gonna need at least 30 slot removers for every attempt. And where the new stuff comes in is we also have an option where we can batch upgrade it. So whenever you go right here and hit re-upgrade, make sure you're also hitting batch upgrade right here, because if you don't do that, it's gonna upgrade it one by one, essentially. So it's gonna upgrade it one by one, and that was what we had to deal with before we got this new update. You want to make sure you're hitting that, and then it's gonna upgrade it 30 times just instantly, just like that. And as you can see, you know, it did that. Now right now I believe we still have the equipment bonanza going on, so do keep in mind, you know, you want to take advantage of this as well, because it gives you basically a bonus. But every time you hit batch upgrade, it's gonna do this, and then it's just gonna upgrade it and upgrade it. And you see how fast that is, instead of having to sit there and wait for it to upgrade, you know, one by one 30 times. Took so long. Now the other thing that I wanted to mention is we can now upgrade our slot 1. If before we weren't able to do this. Now what did I mean by that, right? Now what I mean by this, they gave us these special tickets. These are guaranteed upgrades tickets for slot 1. Now here's the thing. Even though it does say guaranteed upgrade, it is not what a lot of people think. It isn't a guarantee to get you to red slot or gold slot. It's basically like a normal upgrade. And what I mean by that, let's just go over here and let's just use one of these equips down here for an example. So let's say maybe this one, right? What I mean by that, it doesn't give you a guaranteed gold or red slot. It works just the same as the regular guaranteed upgrade, where it's only giving you a percentage of, you know, upgrading that first slot. Now the only thing that sucks about this is these are pretty much paid to play. You have to buy these from the shop. As you can see right here, there's one right there, and then there's 2 more options right there for those. Now they do give us 3 of them for free to try them out. Now what do I recommend for this? You know, for those who want to ask, you know, if I do want to upgrade a slot 1, I recommend doing this. Upgrade it either on a Z or a Z plus equipment already. So let's say I only have 1 now, so we could probably just use, let's say, this equip right here. Do this, and then give us point. See, and that didn't even get us all the way up to Golly. So it's like I said, you want to use the ones that already have a good percentage of either Z or Z plus, and then you also want to kind of look at the percentage, you know. So let's say it goes up to 16%. So essentially, you will have to use more than one of those tickets to get it to gold slot, not gold slot, but red slot, and get it to Golly rank eventually. So do keep it in mind. That is the like newer stuff that did get updated. The only thing that sucks about, you know, the slot, it probably is the, I would say, not the best version of the update, since it is pay to play. Hopefully they implement some way to get it free to play in events. You know, that would be cool, where we get like bonus rewards with the tickets. They could do something like that instead of making it all the way pay to play, because not everyone has money to spend, you know. But essentially speaking, I would say that's pretty much it. We might go over it. So there is one more thing. There is awakening equips. I didn't really include this one with the last video because it's a little bit different. You know, it's not beginner material because it costs a lot of materials. But I can do a quick run over it for you guys. Now, when it comes to these, you need different materials, right? Now, let's go over here. Let's just select this. So you need these 2 materials, right? Now, if you click on them, they'll tell you where you're getting them from. But majority of these materials, you're getting them from the Zenkai Space Time Rush shop, which is why I was saying earlier, make sure you guys are doing that event, because it does reset every like 2 weeks. And then you need one of the same Broly equip. What does that mean? One of the regular Broly equip. So let's do that. Let's try out God Goku's right here, right? So hit auto select. It doesn't, you see how it doesn't show awaken? It's just a regular equip. You need one of those, and then you need B equips. And then you also need these materials up here that I was talking about as well. Same thing goes for this one right here, the awakening material. You can get this from literally the space time. That's where you're gonna get majority of this equipment. Materials from. So how those work? Once you have all the materials, you basically are just trying to. It's kind of like a reroll, essentially to save. Except you're using a lot of materials. You know, you have to constantly keep, re-rolling it to get at least a gold slot. And it's pretty much a pain, if I had to say so myself. So I don't recommend this for my beginners. Just start, grinding the different events and everything and saving up on the resources, and then eventually start doing it. But I just want to give a quick rerun on how that kind of works. You need all those materials, and all those materials are pretty much coming from the Space Time Rush shop. So yeah, and they are pretty costly, so you want to just try to save up on them on the wild. But I would recommend just stick to majority of the regular equips, the platinum equips. There's a lot of good platinum equips in the game. So yeah, I think that will be it for for this video. Hopefully this was helpful. I tried to kind of condense everything and separate it to kind of explain everything for you guys. But let me know if there was something that I missed in the comment section below. But as always, everyone have a blessed day. It's your boy JB. I'm out.